games before he came in. But all credit to this lad.
Mount Smart Stadium is in superb shape for this test match, the second in the series. Can the Kiwis square it at 1-1 after the 1-point loss in Palmerston North? A good kick-off. And Jonathan Davis, the first touch of the ball for Great Britain. Kelvin Skerritt fired up.
Great Britain have been concentrating on a lot of work with these forwards, the short ball and driving in. We'll see a lot of work from Dixon and Skerritt.
Dixon to play it, still in his own quarter. Here's Dennis Betts, almost to the quarter line. In the sunshine in Auckland. Back to Lydon. He's going to play a big part for Great Britain today with his kicking game. Listen to the roar of the crowd. Matthew Ridge takes it well. The first touch of the ball in Test match football.
Well, that'll give Matthew Ridge tremendous confidence. He wanted a kick like that, really. He was well underneath it. That'll do him good.
Tony Ito in from the wing. The big man looking for some work early on. 5 metres short of halfway. This is Peter Brown.
Some good tackling going on there. Good driving in there by Dennis Betts, the young 20-year-old from Wigan. Had a good tour.
That's Brent Todd inside the Great Britain half now. Down the blind, Ridge trying to find touch over on the grandstand side. A good kick. Gee, you can't do anything wrong in the opening stages.
That's a superb kick from Matthew Ridge because he's facing a very strong wind, and very cleverly he kept that ball very low and he flighted it low. He didn't put it up in the air.
Well, New Zealand must play this game in the Great Britain half. And so far, so good on attack.
Bobby Goulding will be looking to get this ball. The
New Zealand, the heavier pack. Referee Harrigan wants it in again, out the same tunnel.
He's quite right there, Greg. Must come out behind the second row's feet. Officially, at least.
This time it does. Back to Schofield. He's going to kick on the first tackle. It'll find some open spaces. Ridge was up in the line. Parnafus back there. It's going to bounce the way of Tony Ito. It's still bouncing around there. And it's a penalty. Joe Lydon inside.
Yes, they were inside 5 metres. In fact, if they'd only waited, Gary Schofield followed up the kick and, in fact, could have put a lot of pressure there on Sam Panapa. But a good decision, I think, there from referee Harrigan.
And he's given the New Zealanders another 10 metres. There's a bit of back chat there from the Great Britain side. So Peter Brown relieved of the goal kicking today, but he'll be kicking for touch.
It's significant how early in this game Great Britain are kicking for attack, because they've got that very strong wind behind them. They've really got to use the ball this half.
10 metres out. Dwayne Mann will play it.
Certainly Great Britain put themselves under this pressure.
Now it's Brent Todd. Plenty of Great Britain defenders in there to stop the big man. It's touched a Great Britain hand, so it's back to 6. Todd will play it. Peter Brown out wide. Gets it back to Gary Freeman, but Goulding's in there again.
I can see a little flirt up between these two in the next 75 minutes.
Penalty to New Zealand. This is right in front of the uprights. Gary Freeman says, thank you very much. A penalty, and it should be a gift, 2 points. And Matthew Ridge surely could not expect an easier first up kick in a test match.
Well, really, Great Britain can't get themselves involved with this little lad, Gary Freeman. He's a cocky, confident player, and really they've got to walk away from him and let him do all the yapping and just get on with the disciplined play.
Bob Bailey in the centre of the New Zealand bench there on the sideline.
And I'm sure he'll be hoping that this gamble of playing Matthew Ridge comes off. He's taken a lot of criticism, but all credit to Bailey.
Straight between the uprights.
And I think that's a relief to that lad and a relief to a lot of people here in New Zealand. Suddenly, I think the pressure will go off his shoulders.
New Zealand leading 2 points to 0 at Mount Smart, thanks to the golden boot of Matthew Ridge. It was an easy attempt, but I guess there was certainly plenty of pressure going through his mind.
And Great Britain not yet taking advantage of this win. Just a couple of kicks downfield, but not really been able to sustain the pressure on this Kiwi line.
A restart by Joe Lydon. Freeman takes it and hands it back to big Tony Ito across field. Oh, links up brilliantly out there with Darryl Williams. Injured earlier on, he looked to be okay there. Peter Brown continuing the charge up the middle, 20 metres short of halfway.
Time and time again, Peter Brown shows that he can distribute that ball. The Kiwis have really got to follow him.
Dwayne Mann plays it down the blind side. Mark Hotto. Nick Howe looking for the support. It wasn't there. Gregory and Carl Gibson wrap him up. 2 metres from halfway down the blind side. There's no numbers over down there. Parnapper's forced infield.
A very important time in the game here for Great Britain. They've got to contain this flowing rugby of New Zealand. They're putting the pressure on, and Great Britain have got to put the tackles in.
Well, that's a good kick by Daryl Williams. It will no. I thought it went out just before the corner post, but it actually went out in goal, so the restart from the quarter line. So a bit of a let-off there for Great Britain. They take the tap, and this is Kelvin Skerritt, rather.
Next to Morris Lindsay, George.
Great Britain keeping the play tight, using the forward. This has been the tactics throughout this tour.
Well, Schofield's going to kick, using this win. Ridges trying to get back there. Not going to get there in time, and so a good kick by Gary Schofield. We saw plenty of that from him in the first test, and that really kept Great Britain in the game. And eventually, I think it was Schofield that really led the way for that Great Britain victory.
It certainly was. It wasn't just Schofield with his play. It was Schofield talking and urging the youngsters on.
9 minutes of play gone in the first half of the second test. New Zealand 2, Great Britain 0. It's a New Zealand ball, and here's Tony Uno trying to crash through Schofield, and also up from fullback there was Lydon. Hume again showing the ball, making some good ground.
Once again, the Kiwis holding this ball much better than Great Britain, and being in possession longer than Great Britain.
Brent Todd almost to the halfway line. The Kiwi forwards allowed to make plenty of room up the middle. Now Matthew Rich kicking for the outer touch line, and once again he finds touch. A fine kick by Rich.
An excellent kick, and once again, like his kick down the right-hand touchline, flighting it very, very low, keeping it below this this wind. I really fear for Great Britain with this lad kicking in the second half. But, obviously,
Malcolm Riley with his hands there. And Schofield takes it almost to the quarter line, Great Britain territory. Mike Gregory almost to the quarter line, his own half.
Gregory got to show that leadership that he has done in these matches.
Dixon looked to be hurt in that tackle.
Well, I think referee Harrigan wants a word with Daryl Williams. I think certainly Paul Dixon took a knock to the head.
Penalty to Great Britain.
Yes, a good drive there by, yes, there he is, Williams coming in rather late. Good decision by Harrigan.
Dixon on his feet, and the tap to be taken after that penalty. 10 metres inside New Zealand half.
Be a good battle here between the props, Brown, Todd, England and Skerritt. A lot of poundage there, and very, very keen to run at each other. But once again, Great Britain lost the ball.
Yes, and a big one over the top by Hume again. Daryl Williams is out there. Up over the halfway line he goes.
Good tackle again by Schofield, cover tackling.
Tawera Nikau. Out to McGann. He ducked under a swinging arm there from Keith England.
I think it was a good job Keith England didn't connect there, Greg.
Freeman, Horrow, changing direction, trying to find a way through, but Betts is there as well as Gibson.
Interesting again here, Freeman doing all the distributing, sending it to the blind side or the open side. Good ball from Nikau.
And he got it back inside to Parnapper. He's held up about 12 metres out over on the far side. New Zealand 2, Great Britain 0. Peter Brown, quick hands, Dean Clark. He throws the dummy out to Williams standing flat-footed. Gets it out to Iro.
Should have come out first
tackle.
time.
Down the blind they go. Here's another penalty to New Zealand. Martin Offiah penalised, not allowing the man to play the ball.
Well, referee Bill Harrigan there judging that Martin Offiah interfered with the man playing the ball. You've got to get back, you've got to be parallel to the touch lines, and you've got to be facing the man playing the ball.
Straight between the uprights again. 2 from 2 for Matthew Rich, and New Zealand doing it nicely at the moment, leading Great Britain by 4 points to 0.
Well, 64 points in 5 games, and this lad really could reach his century of points in no time.
The restart by Joe Lydon.
It's an interesting fact, Greg, that already 13 minutes gone, and New Zealand have been in possession twice as long as Great Britain. They were in possession far longer in the Palmerston Test. We clinched it by a point. You don't often do that.
So a fine start by the Kiwis. Playing in that strip we spoke about in the first test. That's the white shorts. They played in black shorts for most of the 80s. Back to the traditional white shorts with the black jersey. Wasn't lucky for them in Palmerston North. Will it be lucky today in Auckland as they attempt to run it out of their own half, and now it's back to Ridge. Long foot of the opposition, Matthew Ridge was going to kick and then decided to take them on. That's the 5th tackle.
Well, it was worth a go. He still had another tackle to go.
Dean Clark, and they're going to spin it wide. This is Hughie again. He's got the big man, Caminito, up over halfway. Sam Panapar looming up on the outside, and he got it back to Panapar. He can't get away from the cover defence over there of Jonathan Davis. That's the 6th tackle, the handover, but good work out wide.
And that was a magnificent tackle from Jonathan Davis. Panapar was away, he had the strength, but Davis had that extra yard of pace and he put him down. That was a certain try stop.
Hume again linking up well with Hiro and also Panapar there, but Great Britain now with the task of running it out of their own half again. Schofield puts a head down, won't get away from Hotto.
We're seeing 2 different styles here, Greg. Great Britain playing it short, playing it around the rucks, kicking, whereas New Zealand, against the wind, moving it out very, very wide and finding the gaps out there.
And there's a good kick by Bobby Goulding. Rich couldn't get across in time, so a good touch finder by Goulding. Midway between the halfway line and the quarter line, New Zealand end of the ground.
But so far, the kicks are the only way that Great Britain are actually making progress upfield. Great Britain really do need now, in this half, if they can get the ball, to move this ball out to the 2 danger men of Fire and Davis.
Freeman puts it in, takes it out to Clark. There's Williams. He's got Ridge outside, throws the dummy. Arturo almost standing still, but the big man starts to move again. Gibson was there to throw him into the turf, though. 8 metres short of halfway. Down the blind side. Hume again, having a strong game. The skipper, where's the support? Back to Panapar, but he's left it behind.
Interesting to see New Zealand using the blind side considerably, especially here with Hugh McGann and Nico we've seen go down that far side. It's a good switch of ball. Notice once again it's that little man Freeman, and here it is, out wide. Gregory misses the tackle. McGann striding as he did in his best days. Panapar just can't take the ball.
Well, here's a good run from Powell, but he's left it behind. Matthew Ridge, he's got Dean Clark. Dean Clark is up over the quarter line, over the top it goes, but Goulding is intercepted. So New Zealand throwing the ball around willy-nilly. Was it possibly not the best option then? But anyway, they're keeping it certainly on the move, but Great Britain coming away with it. Gregory to play it.
Is this going the same way as the Palmerston North Test? Already, for my money, New Zealand should have been 3 tries on the board. They've had the chances out wide, they've not taken them.
Gary Schofield using the wind once again, finding the open spaces. Ridge has been forced back, takes it 10 metres out from his own line. Up over the quarter line he goes. Davis is there to meet him first of all. Panapar at dummy half.
He's impressed me in this series, Sam Panapar. Very big, strong ladder. The 2 tries against Auckland and the 1 in the first test. Well worth it.
Now Todd, he gets it out to Nickau, but there's no support for Nickau. Running across field, trying to link up. Over the top it goes to Ito. He's put it down. Now can Martin O'Fire keep it on the toe and get it away? The man's got great speed. He's been ankle tapped. He's stepped back inside. Martin O'Fire running around. Throws it over the top to Goulding. Here's a chance. They've got numbers out wide. But Dixon's going to throw the dummy and go on his own. Now he keeps it alive. Out to Goulding. Dax has knocked it on. And Ridge is in there. That man Ridge is up there to dive on it for New Zealand.
And there's a golden chance gone from Great Britain. O'Fire had pulled all the cover to one side. He had 5 or 6 men bobbing around him. All he wanted there was to go through the straight pair of hands. I think Paul Dixon straightened up too soon in midfield.
Well, now it's Todd settling it down. There's Bob Bailey, the Kiwi coach. Tawera Nickau plays it out to Ridge. So Ridge kicks for open spaces. And it's rolling towards the grandstand touchline. Another brilliant kick. The crowd get to the feet and applaud this young man. having a dream test debut.
Well, that's almost like putting a bit of side on a snooker ball. He virtually judged that to pinpoint perfection. But this is a very loose test match. A lot of passes going astray. There's a lot of danger with loose ball here. And umpires showed just what could happen.
So the pace is settled for a moment for the scrum. Goulding puts it in, knocked it back to the base of the scrum. Now Mike Gregory from dummy half trying to find a way through. Hotto is there.
Gregory sensibly allowing his pack to regroup. Took the ball well there from Atin half-back.
Schofield, Dennis Betts, almost through Betts. Now England, quick hands through Schofield. Out it goes to Kelvin Skerritt out wide. It's been picked up by a New Zealander over there, Cavanero.
And there again,
between the halfway and the quarter line.
And there again, Great Britain not going the full extent of the 6 tackles. They haven't done that yet. They've continually dropped this ball. They've really got to sharpen that handling up.
Now another penalty to New Zealand, and rightly so again. The Great Britain players are getting caught by not allowing the New Zealanders to get up and play the ball. Keith England not happy. And another opportunity for Matthew Ridge.
Yes, it certainly is. And once again, you've got to have the discipline around the play the balls and the rooks. Keith England here. It doesn't matter what you think or what you seem to understand. It's what the referee says. And if the referee says you're holding down, there we are. You see.
Strikes it pretty well. This time it's not over. It's away to the right.
It was the wind that just took that ball away. He really did strike that well, but there's a very strong wind when he gets up, when this ball gets in the air, and just took it away.
That's Malcolm Brearley. Doesn't look too happy with the way things are going at the moment, and rightly so. Hume again. 15 metres short of halfway. New Zealand territory. Takes 3 of them to stop the skipper. Freeman, Dean Clark. Cavanero's out there, throws a dummy, Cavanero over halfway, inside it goes to Freeman. Harrigan was in line there to see that one, and it wasn't forward. Freeman plays it quickly up to Peter Brown now, charging up, he gets it back to Mark Hotto. That's the pass we were talking about.
That's the one we were talking about. Certainly he's dangerous, and there's a much more expansive game from New Zealand.
Well, Hume again, held up, and that's a 5th tackle. Penalty to New Zealand. The referee call held. Mike Gregory, the Great Britain skipper, is going to have a yarn to...
Previous miss, but still into the teeth of that win.
Matthew Ridge, 2 from 3 at his test debut. Into a strong breeze. No, it's away to the left again. The breeze holding it up again. So New Zealand still leading 4 points to 0. 13 minutes of play remaining in the first half. The second test, both these sides playing for the Lion Red Challenge Cup, which is the trophy for the winner of the series from the restart.
And from a Great Britain point of view, I'm sure they must be delighted only to be trailing by 4 points to 0. They've had one chance that they've missed. The Kiwis have had 4 or 5, so have been much further in the lead.
Tawera Dikau taking plenty of time getting to his feet after that run.
Good strong running forward there this lad. He'll go well at Ryder York this coming season in England.
Well, he just managed to play it. Brent Todd picked it up well. Freeman gets it out to Dean Clark. Cavanero takes on Martin Afire, but Darryl Powell's across there with Dixon as well to put him to ground. Freeman, Dean Clark throws a dummy. Can't get away from England, and also over the top was Betts. 3 metres inside Great Britain territory.
Freeman again distributing, pushing the ball out wide there to Brent Todd. It's just that one extra forward needed for the Kiwis.
Yes, the support play hasn't been brilliant. And Joe Lydon is back there to pick up that kick inside his own quarter. Gets it out to Gary Schofield. He won't get away from his opposite number, Dean Clark, underneath, and good chasing by Gary Freeman over the top. Darryl Powell, and Freeman has him.
And Great Britain not allowed to get away here from their line. Really, the forward should have been back. Powell shouldn't have actually come away like that.
Here's Dennis Betts to the quarter line.
Good tackle by Mark Hotto.
So Jackson running from dummy half.
And that's good running by Jackson. He's taking the pressure off Great Britain.
Back to Lydon. Look for the kick. Had plenty of time to get that one through. Ridge is back there. They're going to let it bounce, though. And Parnapper, in fact, will get to it first. And he won't get away from Gary Schofield. Good chasing there, and England did well for a prop to get up there.
Been a lot of practice in midweek regarding the chasing. It's a vital element of the modern game. It's no good kicking if you don't get down there and gain the 60 yards.
Well, Tony Ito taps it forward and has another run. 11 minutes to go. In the first half, New Zealand 4, Great Britain 0.
New Zealand commanding the possession. They've commanded the territory, but there's still only 4 points to 0 in the lead.
Matthew Ridge kicking for the grandstand touchline again. This time he won't find it. Lydon is back there.
No pressure on Joe Lydon there.
Maybe they expect Ridge to find touch all the time.
I think they do.
Top tacklers in the forwards, Nicow and Horrow and Mann leading the way for New Zealand.
And we can see really what pressure Great Britain have been under with Lee Jackson there, the hooker, topping 13. That's a big number so far.
Schofield, he's going to kick again inside his own quarter. Ridge is back there. Good positional play by Ridge. Betts is there to wrap him up. 8 metres short of halfway. Dwayne Mann, up over halfway goes the hooker, having a run. And a good run by Dwayne Mann. Freeman's looming up on the inside, but Mann was held up. And Freeman and Dixon, fisticuffs there, but Freeman doesn't want to go on with it. Let's play the football, he says.
And Great Britain shouldn't get involved with Freeman. He does too much talking, too much yapping. They want to leave him alone.
Brent Todd. So a bit of niggle coming in, and a bad pass there. So New Zealand do most of it.
I'd like to see Great Britain use a more expansive game here now, moving it wider. At the moment, we've not made a single break with these forwards, and time again, we've driven it away at first receiver.
Well, here's Betts standing wide, but he had to stop and change direction, and that allowed Mann and also McGann to get up there and knock him down. Well, a penalty to Great Britain, a rare penalty in the first half.
And it's for the similar reason that Great Britain were penalised earlier on. Hugh McGann holding the man down and not letting him to play the ball.
Well, Great Britain have this strong wind behind them, but they don't have the lead on the scoreboard. New Zealand may have missed a couple of opportunities, but it's now very important for them to hold out and make sure they go to the break with that 4-point lead. Jackson at dummy half. Now, Great Britain into a rare attacking position in the first half, but they're inside the New Zealand quarter line. Goulding out to Gregory, the double round with Goulding, out to Gary Schofield. He gets it out to Gibson, but Ito's there to wrestle him into the turf. 20 metres out.
And you see, as soon as Great Britain move this ball about, they begin to threaten.
Here's Jackson. 18 metres out.
It wants good early hands out here now to a fire off.
Here's a run by Gary Schofield, the big dummy right between the uprights. He sucked them in well and truly then, Gary Schofield. You just cannot give this man a centimetre because he'll take a kilometre. Oh, what a great dummy by Gary Schofield. And it's 4-all at Mount Smart.
And Greg, what we were saying about rugby, the Kiwis have had all the pressure, they've had all the ball in their hands, but just one touch of sheer magic from Schofield. Just look at that. Horrow goes for the wrong man. He sees the line, the head's back, and it's a formality. 4 points.
Well, you've got to give it to Gary Schofield, who was a star. He led the way for the Great Britain win, and he had a big line-up outside, and they just fell for it left, right, and centre as easy as that.
He was the man of the match in the first test for my money, and he's on his way possibly to the man of the match in this second one. Right, Gregory felled off the ball there, but no problem. The try's there. And
Gary Schofield, the veteran of this team, but he's only 25. From the Leeds club, his 25th test today.
So once again, you know, Greg, Great Britain have only been in possession for 9 minutes in this half. That's an incredibly low possession factor. And yet, if Jonathan Davies puts this over, they're in the lead, 6 points to 4.
Well, I was only saying Moments before that try that it was important for New Zealand to make sure that they take that advantage into the second half. No problem for Jonathan Davis. Right between the uprights. The 27-year-old from Widnes in his 4th test today has 1 from 1, and Great Britain leading by 6 points to 4.
And Davis again, just like Ridge, doing the job that he's been put in there, getting the goals. They may look easy, these goals, but the pressure is on.
So now, what can the Kiwis do? Just 5.5 minutes left in the first half. Daryl Williams taking plenty of time with the restart. Now, that's a real setback for the Kiwi hopes. There's Williams. And it's going to be Gregory linking up and taking it out from his own try line, almost to the quarter line.
From Great Britain's point of view now, 1 or 2 of these lads will be thinking, well, the Kiwis have thrown everything at us for 35 minutes. We've withstood the siege. What can we do now? And the confidence must be using there. And the Kiwis must be beginning to wonder.
Good tackle there by Hugh McGann up on Dennis Betts. England up over the quarter line. Jackson from dummy half. Now it's back to Lydon. Using the wind again, trying to play it inside the New Zealand half, and now a good take from Ridge and out to Panapa. He won't get away from Mike Gregory. Let's go to the sideline. Howie Tamati.
The play at the moment is against the run of play. That try was scored down there. Very good try by Joe, by Schofield. The Kiwis have just got to knuckle down and try and get up there into the field and put the tries on the board.
Well, they're almost to the halfway line now with Williams playing it.
And let's not forget that the Kiwis, in the second 40 minutes, they've got that very, very strong wind. They've got to put a good kicking game together.
Matthew Ridge. The grubber kick. Trying to find touch on the grandstand side, but Lydon is back there. Had a solid game at fullback, Lydon. Very seldom out of position. And Daryl Williams does the tackling. 18 metres out. Here's Martin Offiah. Across field goes the speedster. Cabanero comes to him, but he gets it back to Jonathan Davis. So Offiah not making any ground there, but he's even dangerous in that situation. He can pull anything out of the bag.
He is dangerous, but he just can't get away, can he? He seems fated here in New Zealand. 19 tries on the last tour of Australia, none so far.
Well, they spin it wide. Dennis Betts broke 1 tackle. He gets it out to Gary Schofield, but he's going to be called back. That was forward. I agree with the referee.
Well, Gary Schofield, I think he begins to wonder, was it a forward or was he not? But Harrigan was right on the spot, but it certainly was a good move.
3 minutes to go to half-time.
And here again, I think we see the progress made by this 20-year-old lad from Wigan, Dennis Betts. He's powerful, he's strong, and he's got that extra yard of pace. Well, just a forward.
Now Peter Brown is out by the big prop. He's going to hold it up. They keep it alive now through Mark Hotto. Right out of support. Throws it back along the ground to Nick Gow. He throws a dummy, but this Great Britain defence is holding up. You've got to give the Lions credit for that. They've been under pressure all this first half. Again, out to Eno out wide, but Martin Offiah is there.
This is a magnificent tackling performance from Great Britain. They've practiced on the tackling pads in midweek.
But there's no line-up out there at all. It's left to Mark Hotto to try and find a way through. That's the 5th tackle. New Zealand trailing right on half-time. Has it been touched by a Great Britain player? One over the top. Cabanero's left it behind. But it's a penalty to New Zealand. Now, I'm not too sure about this one, but he played the advantage there. Straight between the uprights for Matthew Ridge. And that is, in fact, half-time at Mount Smart Stadium. Matthew Ridge, 6 points for New Zealand in the first half. Great Britain, their points coming through that fine individual effort, a try to Gary Schofield, which was converted by Jonathan Davis. So 6-all, what do you think about that scoreline, Ray?
Well, I think these lads coming off the field, Great Britain, will be upset about the number of penalties given and conceded. But also, I don't think Bob Bailey will be too pleased at the fact that they're going in drawing. To my mind, New Zealand should be going in about 22 points to 6.
Well, they're not. It's 6-all at half-time at Mount Smart. We'll be back after this short break. 1 from 1 with his goal kicking, and the second half is underway in this vital second test match at Mount Smart. Freeman out to Panapa, across field. Sam Panapa straightens up now.
And it wouldn't surprise me, Greg, if we saw a very early kick from the Kiwis.
Here's Nick Howe, a good strong run up to the quarter line. Brent Todd.
Great Britain tackling, very good, very solid. Keith England there already put something like 16 tackles into this game.
The left-footed kick by Matthew Ridge. But Lydon is back there. Won't get away from Dwayne Mann and also Gary Freeman. That should be the tactics in the second half. The New Zealanders dominated territorially in the first half, but they didn't dominate on the scoreboard. Now they have to rectify that situation. And so far, so good there. Pinning Great Britain down 20 metres out from the halfway line. Kelvin Skerritt.
And Great Britain lost 3 tackles there around that play the ball situation and not moved an inch.
Schofield, he's left it behind, and Mann has it for New Zealand. A quick turnover. Peter Brown's going to take it up. Almost to the quarter line. Brent Todd now, the Canberra Raider.
This Great Britain line still got to hold a lot of tackling, got to come out of this back 3. Betts, Dixon and Gregory.
Now it's Horrow out wide. 18 metres out from the line, 6 all. Clark at dummy half. Here's Tony Ito in, but he's left it behind, the big winger. And Dennis Betts, his former Wigan teammate, will pick it up.
Good play by Bill Harrigan there, the referee, allowed advantage.
Well, New Zealand can't afford to let those opportunities slip. They let too many opportunities slip in the first half. And there's a good run by Paul Dixon. Geez, an honest second rower.
He works very hard, this Leeds lad. A grafter.
And again, Great Britain pinned from dummy half.
We're losing too many tackles around this dummy half. That's 4 in the last 6 sequence of 7.
There's Goulding, but Gary Freeman is there. That's the 5th tackle. Where's Lydon?
There he is. But you can see
Matthew Rees lets it bounce, and he's back there to pick it up.
You can see the difference there in the kick, the wind. That's the crucial factor now in the second half.
Now it's Ito. Out to his other winger, Panapa. Freeman turning the Great Britain side around. And it's going to roll over the touchline, only 1 metre out.
That's a masterly kick by Gary Freeman, sensibly using this wind, really pinning Great Britain back. He knows that the only way Great Britain can get back at the other end is by running the ball.
Now Bobby Goulding will feed the scrum, a vital scrum this one. All the scrums so far have gone with the feed. New Zealand 4, Great Britain 7 in the scrum count. Here's Schofield, throws the dummy again. This time they won't fall for it. Clark and also Hotto.
I should think they've been warned about Schofield at half-time.
Oh, Great Britain have left it behind now. It's a New Zealand ball. So what can the Kiwis do with it this time?
That's a bad loss by Great Britain. The advantage now to the Kiwis.
Horrow. 10 metres out by Horrow. The charges are now. Brent Todd getting close to the line. He's never scored a test try. He's 5 metres out. The crowd roars, getting behind the team. Todd back now to Horrow. There's no way through there. This Lions defence has been pretty good all day. Freeman. Quick hands, Kevin Ero, he's thrown it to Jim again, who's left it behind. It's been picked up by Carl Gibson. So again, the New Zealanders turning the ball over.
And I think it's the pressure of this Great Britain defence that's causing New Zealand to lose the ball. They're moving up very, very quickly.
Now, New Zealand have it again. They keep it alive. Tony Ero has it. The big man picks up some speed. He won't get through. A good tackle from Dixon. That's the quarter line. Freeman out now to Kevin Ero. He's keeping it to himself. 15 metres out from the line now.
And that's a good tackle there by Keith England as well. Kevin Ero looking for the game.
Tony Ito, well, the plan obviously is to bring him into the game, no doubt. He's been well and truly involving himself so far in the second half. Peter Brown, good ball, out to Hume again. The Kiwis just can't score.
Just how long can this Great Britain line hold out, Greg?
Now it's Brent Todd. Dixon was there, and that's the 5th tackle. Darryl Williams out to Freeman. The little grubber kick through. It's touched a Great Britain player. They have it cleaned up. Now it's lying loose on the ground. Mike Gregory was back there, and it's going to be a goal drop out. Oh, great defence by Great Britain.
Well, I don't think Mike Gregory will be too bothered about whether it's a dropout or a play the ball, but certainly it was a good dive there from the skipper. And
let's go to the sideline. Here's Howie Tamati.
Right, Coach Bailey said for the Kiwis to make sure that their plays are nice and simple early and kick down, which Gary Freeman did, kick to keep them down in their inside their 22. For the Great Britain side, the game plan was to make sure the play the balls were good and watch the defence out wide.
This man's presenting a real problem. Tony Iro and his brother Kevin Iro. And what a game is Dwayne Mann having. He's very powerful, very strong around the rucks.
Freeman, Nick out, back to Freeman, the double round. We saw a few of them in the first half, and now it's Hume again. Got a good ball up to Kevin Iro. The big centre's got Gary Freeman there over the top, but Schofield was there and read it brilliantly.
And just look at the man who read the situation there, Gary Schofield. And doesn't Gary Freeman acknowledge it? He came across, the sweeper supreme. That again was a certain try gone begging.
Well, it'll be a New Zealand feed so they can keep the pressure on, but they must convert this territorial advantage into points. Out to Dean Clark, trying to find a way through the middle. No room there. Freeman at dummy half.
Great Britain just clinging on here. They've got to cling in.
Now they spin at the blind side. Dicko out to Horro. He's held up. He's one beater out. And I think he's lost it. Yes, it's a Great Britain ball. So again, New Zealand failing to score the try that they've been looking for.
If Great Britain win
one of the Great Britain players is down in back play. Bobby Goulding takes it out.
If Great Britain win this game, they can count these 6 forwards up front, the work that they've done, because this defence is absolutely magnificent.
Schofield takes it out. It was Paul Dixon, the man that was flattened in back play, but the referee says play on. Now it's Jackson finding some move up the middle. Good run by the hooker.
There's a lot of courage, there's a lot of grit, there's a lot of determination in this Great Britain pack. They're not lying down, they're taking the game back, but that's the changeover.
And Matthew Ridge takes it away. Oh, this Great Britain defence is fired up, and they'll need to be to hold New Zealand out. They've managed to do it so far.
Suddenly, Greg, this test match has moved up about 10 or 15 notches.
Only 7 minutes gone in the second half, and it seems like an eternity. We've had so much action so far in the second spell.
Leave it, play it, play it.
Play it, says the referee.
Leave it.
Dean Clark picked it up well. The double round with Clark. Throws the dummy. But this defence is holding firmly. A very professional performance by the Great Britain defence. And Norro's put it down.
Dr. Ash Simmons to the ambulance
room. And that again, Mark Horro trying to take the ball, moving away, running sideways, because the defence is moving in so quickly. A relief again for Great Britain.
Great Britain leading the scrum count by 8-5. They've got the feed this time as well through Bobby Goulding. 6-all the score.
One of the advantages of fitness, usually with the tourists, and we certainly need it now. Now then. Phil Harrigan bringing Dixon out for. Is this another penalty kick for Matthew Ridge? Certainly Mike Gregory's very concerned about this.
Penalty to New Zealand.
Well, I must confess, Greg, I, for the life of me, can't fathom out what that penalty was for, and I don't think Hume again does. But
Hume again, well, it certainly wasn't for anything in the scrum, because they're allowed to kick for goal.
It's a differential penalty, surely. Well, I'm sure Mike Gregory's mystified by that. Well, it's a differential penalty, or it must have been a punch in the scrum. That's the only thing I can think of. Foul play is a kick at goal. Sean Irwin there, warming up.
Well, Matthew Ridge with a chance to put the Kiwis in front again. They can't score a try, so can the boot of Matthew Ridge give them the lead they've been searching for in the second half.
And he's got the win behind him. It's
straight between the uprights. So, what will happen now? Will New Zealand go on with it after dominating territorially? Or will this Lions defence continue to be fired up? And will men like Gary Schofield and co pulls a little bit of magic out? But there's Matthew Ridge. He'd be delighted with his test match so far. 4 penalties to Ridge. New Zealand 8, Great Britain 6.
And we've rarely seen this man in the action. The ball's not reached him. He's had only one kickable opportunity.
Ridge takes it well. A player full of confidence at the moment. Up to the halfway line he goes. The quarter line, in fact. Hugh McGann wants it.
There's some powerful tackles going in here, especially from these two props. Kelvin Skerritt and Keith England. But it's the boot of Matthew Ridge that's beating Great Britain.
Dean Clark will play it. Midway between the halfway and the quarter line. Dwayne Mann at dummy half. This time it's Mann who's going to kick. Rolling over towards the far touchline. I think it may stay in touch. Yes, Lydon is back there. 10 metres from his own line. He gets a ball out to Martin Offiah. But Sam Parnapa read that one pretty well.
That was a very risky pass, but of course this is all that the Kiwis have got to do. They've just got to put this ball into the 2 corners. The wind's behind them. It's difficult for Great Britain to get out.
And Golding put it down, but it was knocked back, and Betts picks it up.
No, that went sideways.
The referee is asking them to hold the position.
Yes,
Gary Freeman being called out.
He's having a worry, Gary Freeman, for holding down and getting the tackle.
Well, Harrigan knows both Gary Freeman and Hugh McGann pretty well. He referees in the Winfield Cup. McGann, the captain coach of the Eastern Suburbs, in fact, the player coach of the Eastern Suburbs Club, and Freeman, of course, the halfback for Balmain.
And
12 minutes gone.
Great Britain yet to break over the halfway line in this half.
Golding. Freeman there for Golding with a little halfback. A good run. So 10 metres inside New Zealand territory now.
Good play by Goulding. He was tempted to pass the ball and he did it right to hold on to it.
Kelvin Skerritt to play it.
Great Britain have got to take advantage of this situation now.
Jackson.
These are wasted tackles around the rucks.
Gary Schofield, the kick over the top. Play on, says a referee. And now Dean Clark has Kevin Arrow, but he's put it down. Arrow! Another opportunity. He had his brother Tony unmarked out wide. Casual attempt at tackling there, but Great Britain come away with it again. A fire at dummy half. Now it's Schofield. Dennis Betts.
Great Britain need to make use now of this possession. Move it wide.
Bob Bailey, the Kiwi coach, can his side hold on and square the series? They only have 2 points to play with at the moment. 8 points to 6 as Schofield keeps it alive. Bobby Golding, good ball out there to Jackson over the quarter line. That's the 5th tackle.
Little Bobby Goulding coming more and more into the action now.
Bobby Goulding, a switch of play to Schofield down the blind. Joe Lydon's up in. A grubber kick by Lydon. Matthew Ridge is back there to take it and clean it up. Pressure stuff there from Matthew Ridge. A good grubber kick through by Joe Lydon.
Good rugby on both sides there. Well read here by Matthew Ridge. It was a difficult ball to take, and it was well judged by Joe Lydon here. The kick, and of course Lydon has the speed there to get there. Now, is he obstructed there slightly? But Ridge comes across. Well taken, lad.
Well, the restart from the goalmouth dropout. And Mike Gregory is back there. Up over the halfway line. Gregory taps it forward, no marker. Kevin Uno's there though to wrestle him into the turf. Heavy defence there from the New Zealanders. England bounces out of a couple, gets it back to Betts. Knockbacks is the referee.
A little spirit coming back in the Great Britain side. They've taken a pounding, they've taken a hammering. This is better now, moving it better.
Skerritt out wide. Got a good ball back to Joe Lydon. Inside. Jonathan Davis, 3 Kiwi defenders there to wrap him up. Schofield got away from Peter Brown. Gary Schofield. Here's Dennis Betts. try underneath the post. What a great comeback by this Great Britain side. Bad defence by New Zealand. They paid the penalty.
And it's that man, Gary Schofield again, who puts bets in. And you know, that's about only the second or third chance Great Britain have had in this game. But Schofield, he's very strong. Brown has him, he doesn't hold him. He gets away. Good support play. Supreme support play there from Betts. And it's a try.
Well, Gary Schofield, he's certainly been a real gem on this tour for Great Britain.
And the fire in the Schofield again. Just look at the strength on him. Brown can't hold him. He sees the gap. He goes for himself. Then look for the support. That's the kind of support that the top second row has. This Dennis Betts must surely be one of the finest second rows in the game at the moment. Good try.
Dennis Betts from the Wigan club, only 20 years of age. That's his first test try. And he'll remember that one for a long time. It was the one that gave Great Britain the lead again in this vital second test match. An easy kick here for Jonathan Davis. The Kiwis down in the bottom of the picture there, regrouping.
And again, what seems an easy kick for Davis. But they've all got to go over that crossbar. It does. 12 points to 6 then for Great Britain, and the Union Jacks flying at last. Gibson suffered with a rib injury earlier in the tour. He may have had a knock on it. He's done a good tackling stint as Carl Gibson.
Him again, takes it out and gives it away to Gary Freeman, over to Sam Conopa. Cover defence was there as well as Jonathan Davis. 12 points to 8. Great Britain lead as the Kiwis charge again. We've seen them down here so often in this test match, and they still haven't scored that elusive try. Peter Brown.
You see, look, once again there, Brown, he has the ball, the opening's there, no one running off him.
Dean Clark, switch of play, Nick Howe, throws a dummy, gets a good one out to Horo, can he hold on? Yes! That's a try to New Zealand, put it down to great work from Tawera Nikau, the fumble by Horo, but gee, he did well to regain it.
That was a good try. Nikau once again putting in the work. Good play, good quick hands here. As Nikau takes the ball, lovely footballer. Gregory just moves to one side. A fumble, but it's there.
Dean Clark down the blind side. Look at this for Tawera Nikau. Only his second test. He's got plenty of maturity and does very well to get it over the top. Mark Horo's heart must have been in his mouth.
Yeah. And it's well distributed there too. That's a good long ball, but Nikau, he runs onto it. Good young football. You don't see many second rows doing that these days. Ball round the man. Well taken. Good try.
Mark Horo, the try scorer. That's his first test try. And that's the distance for Matthew Ridge. Well, look at the pressure on him now. He had a couple of easy attempts earlier in the first half to take the pressure off him a bit in his test debut. But this is a half a metre in from the grandstand touchline. It's swinging round. No, not quite. A great attempt by Matthew Ridge, but it's 12 all here.
That was a good attempt. Very, very good attempt. He flighted it well. Just the wind at the end, just taking it away from that right-hand pitch. But what a test match we've got on our hands now, Greg.
Let's go to the sideline. Howie Tamati is talking to Carl Gibson.
Hey, Carl, how do you think the game's going so far, mate?
Well, I think after half-time we come out pretty, convinced that we could do it, and just scored a try now, so it makes it 12 apiece, I think. So obviously the lads will keep going and pull off another victory.
I don't think I've seen a Great Britain pack tackle as well as this since 1988 in that third test victory over Australia. The front row especially are really pounding it. And Roy Powell there warming up. I think possibly Coach Mar really thinks one or two of this pack may be tiring. He needs a fresh man on.
Well, a kick there from Dwayne Mann, which sends Leighton back in goal. Good chasing by Panapa and also Horo. New Zealand need to keep Great Britain down here now. Davis, a great turn of speed. He's got support inside. Bobby Goulding ducked under one.
Superb run there by Jonathan Davis, just showed what he can do when he comes in midfield. And Nicola Goulding coming more and more into this game.
Well, we have a test match on our hands here. Dennis Betts out wide. Dennis Betts, he's got a fire. They're holding onto a fire in back play.
And that certainly should have been a penalty. Martin Offiah was being held back there.
Now Great Britain have the Kiwi defence stretched. Daryl Powell on fire. He's left it behind. Oh, this is great.
But was Martin
Tension
Offiah
here in this second and vital test match.
Was Martin Offiah interfered with again? He certainly was the first time. Betts couldn't get the ball to him.
Well, New Zealand come away with it. It's 12-all. And a penalty for New Zealand now. Not allowing the man to play the ball.
Well, Mr. Harrigan once again adjudging that Great Britain lying on the man. And that's certainly relief for New Zealand, because the Great Britain certainly showed there that they have that speed out wide to trouble the Kiwis.
Dennis Betts, the second rower, has a ton of speed for a forward. They're using him well out wide. Now this is Brent Todd.
This might be the first test match, certainly between Great Britain and New Zealand, Mount Smart, but I don't think many of these spectators will forget it for a long time.
Peter Brown making good yardage again. 12-all the score into the last quarter. Horrow allowed to play on. Mark Horrow up to the quarter line he goes. Well, the play going from one end of the field to the other.
There are some very tired forwards out there.
Freeman inside.
Who will last the longer?
Punch in there from Bobby Goulding.
Well, just look at Goulding's eye. Someone's hit Goulding as well, the two of them, these two half-backs. They're like little terriers at each other.
Referee Bill Harrigan, and there was Steve O'Grady, the touch judge.
And really, the side that keeps its head, the side that keeps its discipline, this is the side that will win this test match.
Goulding with the gash over the right eye now. Referee Bill Harrigan telling Gary Schofield and the rest of the Great Britain players to go away.
And you know, Greg, for all the scrapping between these two little tigers here, they're actually laughing at each other, they're enjoying it. But it's no good for either side.
Well, the referee and the touch judge taking plenty of time. But a penalty to New Zealand. Let's have a look at this again as Matthew Rees lines up another penalty attempt.
Well, here is Nicola Freeman now. He comes in. He cops a tackle off Goulding. Well, does Goulding connect with anything there? I can't see it.
I think he got him for a swinging arm first of all early in the tackle. Kelvin Skerritt
should have been brought out. It should have been Kelvin Skerritt. But certainly not very much went on between the two half-backs. And
Ray, I saw a little swinging arm from Goulding early on.
But whatever happens, it's the referee who's in charge. He's the man who gives the decision, and that's what you've got to abide by. And Mal Reilly certainly will be upset at these penalties being given away, for whatever reason.
Well, the crowd gets the opportunity now to take a bit of a breather, as well as the players out in the middle as Matthew Rees lines up what should be an easy penalty attempt for a kicker of his class. Four from 7 today.
He's had a 90% kicking ratio since his arrival in league. But this is the one that could give him glory.
It's straight between the uprights. New Zealand hit the front again. 14 points to 12. Matthew Rees, his 5th goal today in his debut. Now, can New Zealand hold on? Freeman puts it in and takes it out. Tony Ito in from the wing. Hume again, the skipper. 9.5 minutes to go. Brent Todd
New Zealand using this pack well now. All they know they've got to do is hold possession, work for position down there, then put this ball to Ridge.
And that's Ridge kicking for the grandstand touchline. Another good kick by the fullback.
That sounds sensible rugby. This lad's had a dream debut.
12 metres out from the Great Britain line. Well, Ray, we haven't seen a replacement on for New Zealand yet. Bob Bailey playing his cards close to his chest.
I don't think we will see one. I think he's possibly happy enough with these players. There don't seem to be anybody flagging.
Well, there's Sean Irwin. New Zealand must pin Great Britain down in their own quarter. Great Britain, we know they've got the speed out wide and the forwards to do the job to get up into a try-scoring position. Schofield directing the traffic again. Calvin Skerritt out wide. Skerritt breaks a great break. Back inside to Gary. Schofield into Darryl Powell. Great Britain, Martin O'Fire's there. They won't catch Martin O'Fire. Caminito, Martin O'Fire. He's going to score his first try in New Zealand. Look at Malcolm Reilly. He's happy. Keith England, Phil Larder, the assistant coach. Well, it's been a long time coming for Martin O'Fire, but what a great runaway try.
And hasn't he just threatened that? Just look at this football. What a power break from Kelvin Skerritt. Real powerhouse forward. We waited a long time for that. Good support play. Schofield's in again. Darryl Powell. Now this is centre play supreme. He looks around. O'Fire has difficulty. Now this is sheer pace. Kevin Iro's going as fast as he can, but the greyhound goes away. His first try in New Zealand.
Worth having another look. Schofield, and this is the man that started it all. Kelvin Skerritt got inside Brent Todd, away from Gary Freeman. There's Schofield on hand as ever. Darryl Powell, he didn't have the pace to get away, but this man certainly has speed to burn. Chariots of fire. Hero, a valiant attempt, but a great try.
It's a magnificent try, this. You'll see very few. Just look at the power, look at the strength of the pace of this Sheffield Eagles star. It's a good ball. It's a difficult ball. O'Fire loses 2 or 3 yards there on the Iro. But you can't give this man. He gets his head back. Just look at those legs. It's pace supreme. It's all over. Iro does well to tap his ankles there. Stops him going round the post.
That's a distance for Jonathan Davis.
This is a very difficult kick for Davies. He's really kicking into the wind. He needs all his powers here, all his skill.
Doesn't strike it very well, but his team is still in front. We still have a test match on our hands here. Great Britain now leading by 16 points to 14. Malcolm Reilly. About 7 minutes remaining in the second half.
And this certainly will be the nervous time. Great Britain really, I don't think, should go back in the shell. 2 points is not possibly enough. I think they've still got it, the rugby. And of course, all New Zealand have got to do now is move the ball out wide.
Roy Powell.
Significant there, Nicholl trying to steal the ball. 6 minutes to go. Possession vital for both sides.
Mike Gregory, he'll run all day. Leads by example, the skipper. Possession vital now for both sides. Sean Irwin allowed to get up and go again.
Very strong lad, this Castleford centre. Only a youngster. Had a good tour.
England.
And another Castleford lad from Weldon Road. Beefy England.
Schofield. Good tactics again. Sam Parnifer is back there. Now, what can New Zealand do? They're staring a series loss in the face, and good chasing by Roy Powell there on Sam Parnifer. Freeman's back there. Out it goes to Matthew Ridge. He's going to have a run up the middle. No way through there, though.
This is the position Great Britain have got to hold for this next 5 minutes. The Kiwis must be contained here.
Gary Freeman gets it out to Dean Clark, but he's left it behind. And here's another chance. Jackson turns it around to Schofield. He's everywhere, Gary Schofield, but this time he's wrapped up by Gary Freeman.
It's no wonder Western Suburbs want this man to go back to Australia next summer, Gary Schofield. He's like a man possessed.
Great Britain 16, New Zealand 14. Dennis Betts. Well, this time it's going to be a scrum, and 2 replacements coming on. 17 is Dean Lonergan, his first test appearance since 1987, and Tony Kemp was there as well. So Dean Clark is coming off, and also Brent Todd.
Well, it's a last gamble, a last throw by coach Bob Bailey. 4 minutes to go. 4 minutes to go, and I don't think the Great Britain pack will be all that worried about the scrum collapse. Well,
A penalty to New Zealand.
certainly Great Britain had no favours off Mr. Harrigan. And an urgency about the Kiwis now. They've got to keep this ball in play.
Well, Ray, I think they've got to get down to the Great Britain quarter, because I don't think they've got the likes of Martin O'Fire that can run away and score.
No.
But here's Tony Kemp, the fresh man, throws the dummy and has a run.
If they can get down to that quarter, Greg, they've got the size of the two Iowa brothers who could score from 20-25 yards out.
Dean Lonigan, his first touch of the ball in a test match for 3 years. Kemp out wide. Tony Kemp throws a dummy. Support on either side, but he had to take the tackle. Now they go down the blind side. Peter Brown, the big prop. Where's the support? He couldn't get it away. New Zealand, can they pull this one out of the bag? Kemp,
Certainly
3 minutes to go. Kevin Iro, away. Throws a dummy. Tony Iro, his brother. Darryl Williams, back to Tony Iro. Great defence by Great Britain. You have to praise the tackling today by the tourists.
And the sixth tackle, Greg. New Zealand have got to kick this ball. Will they put a high one up? No, they're running it. I don't think they realise.
Well, it's been touched there and knocked on by Lee Jackson, so they'll get the feed and another 6 tackles.
Yep.
If they can win the scrum.
And Lee Jackson injured his back there in that knockdown, but certainly I think Coach Mulreilly, we were wishing that Lee Jackson had never touched that ball, because I think the Kiwis forgot what tackle that they were on. Is to go, 2 points difference, 16-14 for Great Britain.
Freeman with the feed.
6 more tackles to the Kiwis.
Tony Kemp. That's tackle 1.
Great Britain got a tackle for their dear life here now. That's tackle number 2.
Lonigan. Now Freeman. Out to Huey McGann, the skipper. Tony Kemp slips over as Roy Powell comes to him. And they've lost it. And that could be the series.
That was a bad loss. That was a bad loss. All credit there to Roy Powell. And Great Britain have got to hug this ball for dear life. Gregory's doing the right thing, taking it away from acting halfback. Led by a skipper. I think Jackson will do the same. No, he doesn't.
Keith England, 10 metres short of halfway. Down the blind side.
1 minute to go. 60 seconds in this second test match. Great Britain leading 16 points to 14.
Sean Owen waiting for it at dummy half. Skerritt taking plenty of time. This will be the first time that Skerritt's lasted the distance on the tour of New Zealand anyway. Almost to the halfway line now. This is Sean Owen. Great Britain taking plenty of time. They need to hold it for 6, but now Schofield's going to turn them around. Inside the last minute now, Tony Iro comes up to Martin O'Fire. Right push off O'Fire, but he gets it back to Matthew Ridge. 8 metres short of halfway.
Great Britain have got to keep the Kiwis down here, and New Zealand have got to move the ball out wide.
They do that now through McGann. Out to Matt Hono. Up over the halfway line he goes. They need field position.
Coming up to the time for the hooter now. Desperate stuff here from New Zealand.
Peter Brown, the big prop. Will there be support this time? Back inside it goes. They're keeping it alive. Dwayne Mann held up.
And equally desperate stuff, Greg, here from the Great Britain tacklers. Just some very tired men out there.
Now waiting for it is Tony Kemp. Out to Gary Freeman. Huey McGann. Can he pull something out of the bag for his team? They've left it behind. But Iro has it. Tony Iro. But there's a knock-on in there, and that may be the end of it. Yes, it's all over. The series has been won by Great Britain. They've won the second test by 16 points to 14 over New Zealand, scoring 3 tries to 1. You can't take it away from them. It's been one of the best defensive efforts I've seen in a test match for quite some time.
And the joy on those players' faces. It's all the work, all the pressure. They've had a lot of problems as this tour's gone on. But just look where Mulreilly goes, to Gary Schofield. He's the man that's made it clear. Kelvin Skerritt finished his first 80 minutes in New Zealand, but what an 80 minutes he's played. And Matthew Ridge there must be disappointed, but Great Britain win the series. They were the underdogs when they came out. No one gave them a chance, and these young Lions have done it.
A very happy Mike Gregory. Martin O'Fire, have a look at this. Is he delighted or what? Scored his first try in New Zealand, and his side have taken the series. They won the first test in Palmerston North by 1 point. They won it the second test by 2 points today.
And Jonathan Davis, he came to New Zealand, he's taken a pounding from the All Blacks, but he's come back and he's got 2 wins against the Kiwis. Absolute delight on that lad's face. They've worked hard, these lads. They've put a lot of effort in. They've had a lot of criticism, both here in New Zealand and back home. They were written off when they first arrived.
The Kiwi skipper, Hugh McGann, always signing autographs, but he must be a disappointed man. The Kiwis had the advantage territorially, but they just couldn't convert that territorial advantage into points. Matthew Ridge, you'd have to be happy with his performance. He kept New Zealand in the game. Let's go to Grant Nisbet and Kiwi skipper Hugh McGann.
Well, Hugh McGann, commiserations. That appeared to be a test that was there for the taking.
Just like the first test, we had the opportunities to win, but times there, our defensive lapses cost us dearly. Just one-off tackles, especially when they were in our half. We can't afford things like that. It is extremely disappointing.
6-all at half-time, turning with the wind. Were you pretty confident at that stage?
Well, you're always pretty confident when you've got the wind behind you. In this test, unlike the first one, we made use of the wind, but again, we squandered opportunities that were there begging for us. And as I said, we fell off first off tackles, which again cost us dearly.
Once again, the Great Britain defence was quite magnificent, wasn't it?
Yes, they took a leaf out of a videotape that we've been watching through the week, and their call out there was hit the beach, which meant that it was all hands on deck and it was war for them, and that call certainly inspired them. But our defence certainly was wanting.
A word about the new man out there today, Matthew Ridge. How do you think he went?
Oh, they did exceptionally well. Obviously, his kicking kept us in the game. Hopefully, unfortunately, we weren't able to score and give him more opportunities. But in all areas of the game, not only his kicking, but his defensive prowess showed, and he showed that he has got the attacking skills also.
Well, Hugh, I guess there's a third test at least.
Well, at least we get a chance for some salvation out of this series, but it is an important one too, with 2 World Cup points at stake, and we're certainly going to Christchurch, hopefully in a better frame of mind. Well, I won't say that we had a bad frame of mind here, but one that's it's a win at all costs.
Okay, Hugh, thanks for joining us.
Thanks, mate.
We're just waiting for Mike Gregory, the Great Britain skipper. But let's have a look at possibly the try that really won it for Great Britain. Darryl Powell finding plenty of space up the middle. And when you give this man some open spaces, once he gets the ball in hand and can see the try line, a great scene there with O'Fire trying to outsprint Caminero. That's a magic moment for the Widnes flyer. His first try in New Zealand, a long time coming. Look at this for a smile.
Oh, Mike Gregory, just watching that one on television, that must have been a sweet moment for the Great Britain side.
Oh, yeah, for sure. I mean, the penalties went against us. We weren't playing particularly well in the first half. But the spirit was there, the camaraderie was there. And after all, you know, we put a lot of work in, a lot of training. And the benefits paid off today. We knew it would be close, but a win's a win, and now we've won the series. The most successful touring side since, I think it was 70.
Well, that's a great record. Now, you see, you didn't play particularly well in the first half, but it was only 6-all at the break. How did you feel at that stage?
Yeah, I wasn't particularly happy with the way that we played. We didn't control the ball again. Very similar to the first test. But we all sat down calmly in the dressing room. Malcolm, myself and Gary Schofield had a few words to say. And we ironed out our problems. And I think it showed in the second half. Our field position was a bit stronger and our support play was stronger. And at the end of the day, it was the support play that won us the game, and our defence was solid again.
Were you concerned at half-time that you had to play into the wind in the second spell?
Yeah, I mean, it was quite a strong breeze out there. You probably couldn't tell on the TV, but it was certainly, it was worth a couple of points, the breeze. And we didn't really play with the breeze in the first half. We didn't have a particularly good kicking game or a chase. But we, as I said, we ended out in the second half, and all credit to the Kiwis. If they'd won again, if they'd have won in this second test, we couldn't have argued. They were 2 close games. I'm just thankful that we've won the series.
And once again, one of the features was your magnificent defence, your side.
Yeah, I mean, we're trying to. A lot of people say we're trying to base our play on the Australians, but let's the Australians base the play on our game. We're very good in defence now. The fitness is there, and I think we've got more attributes with the ball skills than Australia. And certainly, I think the Kiwis are better than Australia with the ball in their hands. So people will probably be looking towards Great Britain and New Zealand now as the force to be reckoned with.
Great, Mike Gregory. Thanks very much, and once again, congratulations.
Thank you.
Great stuff, wasn't it? And so this young British side, written off by so many even before they left these shores, have become the most successful tourists in 20 years. It was in 1970 that Malcolm really played in the British team that won the Ashes in Australia. Today he's coached a side to an historic series win. It's a famous day for the British, and tonight at 6:30, injured captain Ellery Hanley, one of the many stars not to make this tour because of injury, joins me here in the studio to measure the Lions' achievement, along with the former Rugby Union All Black John Gallagher. It's well worth watching again, so I hope you can join us at 6:30. Until then,